Start your morning with Jesus Christ. This is not a habit meant to impress, and it is not a routine meant to be checked off. It is a quiet, intentional choice to begin the day from a deeper place, a place that shapes everything that follows before noise and movement take over. Mornings can feel heavier than we expect. Light may come through the window, yet the heart is not always ready to rise with it. Thoughts are already awake. Concerns are already forming. The mind begins scanning the day ahead, replaying yesterday, anticipating conversations, carrying questions that never truly rested. Even in silence, there can be a quiet pressure waiting to be answered. If this feels familiar, there is nothing wrong with you. This is not weakness or failure. It is simply what it means to be human in a world that rarely slows down. This moment is not here to correct you or push you forward. It is here to acknowledge what you are carrying and to meet you gently without judgment. The morning is more than the beginning of tasks and responsibilities. It is a threshold, a tender space where the soul is still soft, still open, still able to notice what often disappears once the day is in motion. The noise has not fully arrived yet, and the heart still has room to listen before it learns how to brace itself again. Jesus Christ meets people in these ordinary, unguarded moments, not when everything is clear, but while things are still forming. Not when the heart feels confident, but when it is honest. There is something sacred about becoming aware of His presence before becoming aware of everything else. You may not feel calm yet. You may not feel centered or strong. That is not required here. What matters is choosing where you begin, allowing your first awareness to be steadiness instead of strain, nearness instead of pressure, presence instead of performance. There is no need to do anything right now. You don't have to organize your thoughts or prepare your plans. Simply pause. Let your breathing slow. Let your body and your mind arrive together. The day can wait just a moment longer. The Savior is not distant in the morning. He is close, attentive, aware of the quiet weight people carry into a new day. He is not asking for productivity from you in this moment. He is offering a place to stand that is steadier than your circumstances and gentler than your expectations of yourself. So remain here for a little while. Let the pace soften. Let the tension ease, even slightly. This is not about escaping what lies ahead. It is about entering it differently. In a moment, we will pray together. But before we do, let this morning belong to Him. Let this be the place where your day begins. Before we move any further, let's slow this moment down together. If your hand is holding a phone, there is no need to scroll right now. If your body feels ready to move on, give yourself permission to stay. There is nothing you need to rush into, and nothing you need to prove. You may want to place a hand over your heart, or simply let your hands rest where they are. Notice your breathing for a moment, not to change it, just to become aware of it. Allow your body to catch up with where you already are. Let the inner noise soften, even if it does not fully disappear. This is not a performance. This is not about saying the right words or feeling the right things. This is a meeting, a quiet meeting with Jesus, right here in the middle of an ordinary morning. You are not arriving late. You are not unprepared. You are simply here. You do not need to bring strength into this space. You do not need clarity or confidence. If all you bring is honesty, that is enough. Jesus is not waiting for polished prayers. He is present for real ones. the kind that begin exactly where you are. So take one more slow breath. Let your shoulders ease. Let your attention settle. We are entering prayer from a place of trust, not pressure. And in this gentle stillness, allow yourself to step into the presence of Jesus, just as you are. Dear Jesus, thank you for this new morning, for the quiet mercy of waking up and discovering that I am still held in your care. Thank you for breath moving gently through my body, for light slowly entering the room, for life continuing even before I do anything to deserve it. I pause here to receive this moment rather than move past it too quickly. It brings comfort to know that you are already present, not waiting for me to gather myself, not standing at a distance until I feel strong or focused. You are here at the beginning, in the softness of this hour, welcoming me without expectation. That awareness eases something deep within me. I am grateful for the way this morning begins without asking anything from me yet, for the stillness that has not fully lifted, for the calm that lingers before the day gathers its pace. When I slow down enough to notice these moments, they feel sacred. They remind me that life is not only shaped by what I accomplish, but by the grace of simply being alive in your presence. I honor you for who you are, not for the answers that may come later, and not for the help I may ask for soon, but for your steady and faithful nature. You remain the same when my emotions shift. You stay near when my thoughts feel unsettled. There is deep comfort in knowing that you are constant, even when everything else feels uncertain. I am thankful that I do not have to earn this moment with you. I do not need perfect gratitude or clear intentions. I do not need impressive words. I am received here honestly and gently. That truth allows my heart to soften, my breathing to slow, and my inner world to quiet just a little. Thank you for this morning, whether it feels bright or muted. Thank you for the opportunity to begin again, even when tiredness or mixed emotions are still present. Renewal does not always arrive loudly. Often it comes softly, through presence, through patience, through being met exactly where I am. I allow this gratitude to settle now, not rushed, not forced, simply acknowledged. You are here with me, and I am not alone in this day. Within this shared presence, there is enough peace to begin without pressure, enough love to hold whatever unfolds, and enough grace to walk forward gently, one moment at a time. Jesus, as this morning continues to open, I place this day into your hands again, slowly and with intention. I do not want to carry it with clenched fists or a guarded heart. I bring it to you while it is still forming, before outcomes are decided and before expectations harden. I choose to begin from trust rather than control. I release the pace of this day, the pressure to move quickly, the sense that I must keep up or stay ahead, the inner urgency that tells me rest has to be earned. I let that go now. Guide me into a rhythm that feels grounded and steady, shaped by your presence rather than my anxiety. I set my plans before you, the ones I've already organized and the ones that are still unclear, the responsibilities I expect, the tasks that feel ordinary, and the moments I cannot predict, the interruptions, the changes, the conversations that may ask more of me than I feel ready to give. I do not want to meet any of it alone. I loosen my grip on how I think today should unfold. The quiet hopes I am holding, the outcomes I have already imagined, and the fear that rises when things move differently than I planned. These things matter, but I trust you to hold this day with more wisdom and care than I can manage on my own. I bring you the emotional weight I carried into this morning, the tiredness that lingered through sleep, the concerns that surfaced before I was fully awake, the heaviness that has no clear name but still shapes how I move and respond. I offer it without explanation, trusting that you understand it completely. I place before you the conversations waiting for me today, the words I have already rehearsed, the moments I feel anxious about, the places where I am tempted to protect myself or perform. Help me enter each interaction with openness and calm, responding from honesty rather than fear, from presence rather than pressure. I also release my need to control how I am seen, the desire to manage impressions and prove my worth through productivity or composure. Remind me again that my value is already secure in you. Let me move through this day from acceptance rather than striving. As I give you this morning and the hours ahead, I ask for a quiet awareness of you to remain with me. Not something loud or dramatic, but steady and close. A gentle sense that I am walking with you, step by step, as this day unfolds. Jesus, I choose to walk with you through this day, not only in moments that feel calm or meaningful, but in everything that fills the ordinary hours. I do not want to move ahead on my own instincts or rely only on what I can control. I want to remain aware that you are near, guiding me with a presence that is quiet, steady, and faithful. Go before me into the places I cannot see yet, into conversations that have not happened, decisions I have not fully understood, and moments still waiting to unfold. Prepare the way in ways I could never arrange for myself. When uncertainty rises, remind me that nothing ahead of me is unfamiliar to you. Remain beside me throughout this day, in tasks that feel small and repetitive, and in moments that feel heavier than expected. When confidence grows, keep my heart grounded and attentive. When uncertainty appears, steady me with your calm assurance. Let me sense that I am not navigating this day alone, even when everything feels ordinary. Stay behind me as my covering. When I feel exposed or vulnerable, remind me that I am not unprotected. When old doubts or patterns try to follow me forward, help me leave them where they belong. Let what is behind me remain there, so I can move ahead with freedom rather than fear. Help me become aware of your guidance in simple ways, not only through clear answers or dramatic moments, but through gentle promptings. A pause when slowing down matters. A restraint when listening matters more than speaking. A quiet invitation toward kindness, patience, or silence. Teach me to trust these leadings without overthinking them. Shape my inner world as I move through this day. When my thoughts drift toward worry or comparison, draw them back to what is present and true. Shape the way I speak, so my words come from gentleness and clarity. Shape the way I act, so my responses flow from love rather than obligation, from awareness rather than habit. I do not need to see the entire path to trust that you are leading me. I do not need every answer to take the next step. I ask for the grace to remain present, open, and attentive as you guide me forward. Walk with me today, close and constant, shaping how I move through every moment. Jesus, I bring the quieter places of my heart to you now. The places I do not always have words for. The ones I often move past because slowing down feels uncomfortable. You already see them clearly, and you meet them with patience, not pressure. I do not need to force anything open. I simply allow you to be here with me. There are parts of me that feel tired in ways rest alone has not touched. a weariness shaped by holding things together for a long time, by staying composed, by being responsible, by carrying emotions that never fully found a place to land. I do not need to explain this tiredness. I place it in your presence, trusting that you understand it completely. Where my heart has learned to stay guarded, gently soften me, not all at once, and not in ways that feel overwhelming, just enough to breathe more freely, just enough to loosen the brace I have been holding without realizing it. Help me release the tension that settled in slowly and became familiar. I bring you the small hurts I minimized at the time but still carry quietly. Words that stayed longer than they should have. Moments of being overlooked or misunderstood. Disappointments I moved past quickly but never fully set down. I do not need to revisit them in detail. I place them in your care and allow your presence to begin gentle restoration. Let your peace reach the places in me that still feel unsettled. The thoughts that return late at night. The emotions that surface without warning. The sense of being stretched thin inside. I ask for healing that moves at the pace of safety. Healing that respects my heart. Healing that restores without demanding anything in return. Where my inner world feels scattered, bring a quiet sense of wholeness. Where I feel disconnected from myself, help me feel grounded again. Where I have learned to ignore my own needs, teach me how to listen with kindness rather than criticism. Let restoration begin softly, without noise or urgency. Healing does not always arrive dramatically. Sometimes it comes quietly, through steadiness, through being held, through knowing I do not have to carry everything alone. I give you permission to work beneath the surface in ways I may not notice right away, trusting that nothing you touch is wasted. As I sit here with you, let something inside me rest, not because everything is resolved, but because I am no longer carrying it by myself. Let this quiet restoration continue as the day unfolds, shaping how I breathe, how I respond, and how I move forward. I trust you to care for the deeper places in me with tenderness and faithfulness. Jesus, I ask now for peace that reaches my mind and settles my emotions. Not a forced calm, and not something I have to create on my own, but the kind of peace that arrives gently when I remember I am not alone. Let it meet me where my thoughts feel busy and my inner world feels unsettled. When my mind begins to move too quickly, slow it with your presence. When worries start lining up, remind me that I do not have to solve everything at once. Help me stay with what is in front of me, rather than being pulled into what might happen later. Let my thoughts find rest in something steady and trustworthy. Cover my emotions today, both the ones I understand and the ones I do not, the feelings I can name easily and the ones I tend to push aside. Let nothing overwhelm me or take control. Teach me how to notice what I am feeling without being ruled by it, how to remain present without becoming consumed. When anxiety tries to rise, let your peace rise higher, not through effort, but through awareness. Remind me that I am safe in your care, even when circumstances feel uncertain. Let this peace stand like a gentle guard around my heart, keeping me from being pulled too far in any direction. Where my heart feels tender, place your covering. In moments when words or situations might affect me more deeply, help me respond from steadiness rather than reaction, from calm rather than defensiveness. Let me carry a quiet confidence that does not depend on everything going well. Bring clarity where my thoughts feel cloudy, and simplicity where my mind feels overloaded. Help me release the constant need to evaluate analyze, or anticipate. Let my thinking rest in trust, knowing I do not have to carry the weight of the day by myself. Let this peace move with me as I go, into conversations, into decisions, into moments of silence and moments of activity. Shape how I listen, how I speak, and how I respond. May calm be sensed around me, not because I have everything together, but because your presence remains steady within me. I receive this covering now. I do not rush it or question it. I simply welcome it. Let your peace remain with me, guarding my thoughts, steadying my emotions, and holding me gently through everything this day brings. Jesus, as I move further into this day, remind me of who I am in you, not who I feel like in fluctuating moments, and not who circumstances try to define me as. Ground me in an identity that is steady and secure, one that does not shift with approval, success, or failure. When my confidence feels fragile, let it rest in something deeper than performance. Help me remember that my worth is not built on how much I accomplish, how well I speak, or how strong I appear. It is rooted in being known and loved by you. From that place, let a quiet strength rise, one that does not need to announce itself. Give me strength that is gentle rather than forceful. Strength that allows me to show up without bracing myself. Strength that helps me stay present in difficult moments without shutting down or pushing through. Let this strength steady my steps while softening my reactions at the same time. When self-doubt begins to speak, draw me back to what is true. When comparison pulls at my attention, help me release it. I do not need to measure myself against anyone else to know that I have a place, a purpose, and a path uniquely mine to walk with you. Let my confidence today be quiet and grounded, not defensive, not performative, simply steady. Help me move through conversations and decisions without needing to prove anything. Let my posture reflect trust rather than tension, assurance rather than fear. Strengthen me in moments when I feel stretched. When the day asks more than I expected, meet me there with endurance that does not exhaust me. Remind me that I can pause, breathe, and realign without losing momentum or falling behind. Help me carry myself with gentleness and self-respect. Teach me to speak to myself with the same patience you offer me. When I make mistakes, keep me from turning inward with harshness. Show me how to learn without condemning myself. As this day continues, let my identity remain anchored in you. Let strength flow from that anchor naturally. Let confidence grow quietly, not from striving, but from trust. I walk forward supported, capable, and held, not because I have everything under control, but because you are with me. Jesus, I pause here to lift my heart toward you in quiet worship, not with loud words or grand expressions, but with a simple awareness of who you are. You are steady when everything else shifts. You are faithful when my feelings rise and fall. You are present here and now, and that is more than enough. I honor you as King, not distant or demanding, but close and compassionate. You reign with gentleness. You lead with love. There is rest in remembering that my life is held within your care, guided by your wisdom, and sustained by your grace. I do not need to understand everything to trust you with everything. I acknowledge that this day belongs to you. Not only the moments that feel meaningful, but also the ordinary ones, the small choices, the quiet hours, the unnoticed faithfulness. I offer them to you without pressure, without fear, without trying to control the outcome. I hold this truth gently. I am not alone today. I am not moving through these hours by myself. You go before me. You remain near. Even when I forget, even when my attention drifts, your presence does not leave. I allow trust to shape this day more than worry. I allow peace to speak louder than fear. I allow love to guide my responses, even when it would feel easier to withdraw or protect myself. These are not loud declarations. They are quiet commitments made in your presence. I worship you with my attention, with my willingness to pause, with my openness to be led rather than rushed. Let this posture remain with me as the day unfolds, shaping how I listen, how I speak, and how I respond. Receive this offering of worship, simple, honest, unforced. Let it settle gently into the hours ahead, so that each step may become sacred simply because it is taken with you. Father, I widen my heart now beyond myself. I hold before you every person sharing this moment, every life connected to this prayer in ways I cannot see. Each one carries their own story into this morning, their own joys, their own quiet battles, their own hopes that may feel fragile right now. You know each of them by name. I bring to you those who feel tired in ways they have not spoken aloud, those who woke already carrying heaviness, those who are doing their best to stay steady for others while feeling stretched inside. Meet them gently. Let your presence become a place of rest for their hearts, not another demand placed upon them. I remember those who feel anxious or uncertain today, the ones facing decisions they do not feel ready for, the ones stepping into conversations that feel intimidating, the ones waiting on answers that have not come yet. Surround them with a peace that does not depend on circumstances. Remind them that they are not walking into anything alone. I lift up the homes represented here, families navigating tension, silence, or misunderstanding, relationships that feel distant or strained. Let your calm settle into those spaces. Where words have been sharp, restore kindness. Where emotions feel thin, grow patience. Where connection feels fragile, bring gentle renewal. I also hold before you those carrying physical weakness or illness, bodies that feel worn or fragile. Bring comfort where there is pain. Bring strength where there is fatigue. Even when healing feels slow, let your nearness be felt clearly, reminding them they are not forgotten or overlooked. I remember those who feel unseen today, the ones who show up quietly, the ones whose efforts go unnoticed, the ones who wonder if what they do truly matters. Remind them that you see every step, every act of faithfulness, every moment of perseverance. Let encouragement meet them in quiet and unexpected ways. I pray for those stepping into work, study, or responsibilities that feel overwhelming. Bring clarity where there is confusion, wisdom where choices feel complicated, endurance that sustains rather than drains. Let them move through their tasks with purpose rather than pressure. Let this prayer become more than words spoken in a moment. Let it be a shared covering of peace, stretching across homes, time zones, and lives. Unite us quietly in your presence. Let each person feel held, supported, and remembered as they move into the rest of their day. I trust you with every heart connected here. Continue to meet them where they are, long after these words fade. Keep walking with us, caring for what matters most, with patience, faithfulness, and love. Jesus Christ, I place this time into your hands now. Everything that has been spoken, everything that has been felt, everything that was quietly held in the heart. I trust that nothing offered here is lost or overlooked. You receive it with care and you continue the work long after these words come to rest. I ask that what is settled gently within us would remain, not as something fragile, but as something grounded. Let peace continue to guard our thoughts. Let steadiness remain in our emotions. Let trust shape how we step into the hours ahead, even when the day becomes full or unpredictable. Bless each person as they move forward from this moment. Bless their coming and going. Bless the work of their hands. Bless the spaces they enter and the conversations they carry. Let your presence go before them, walk beside them, and remain behind them as a quiet covering of care. When the pace of the day begins to rise, remind us to return inwardly to the stillness. When pressure tries to pull attention away, gently draw it back. Let your peace be something we can come home to again and again, even in the middle of movement and responsibility. I speak blessing over weary hearts, that they would find rest without guilt. Over anxious minds, that they would find clarity without striving. Over uncertain steps, that they would find guidance without fear. Let today unfold with a sense of being held rather than hurried. We seal this prayer in trust, not because everything is resolved, but because you are faithful. We step into this day knowing we are not alone, not forgotten, not unsupported. Your grace goes with us. Your peace remains within us. And now, as we go, let us move gently. Let us carry what matters. Let us stay aware of your nearness in small moments and quiet choices. This prayer does not end here. It continues in how we live, how we listen, and how we walk with you. Amen. If this prayer met you where you are today, I invite you to share a simple comment below. You can write something like, "I'm walking with Jesus today," as a quiet reminder of what you're carrying into this day. And if these moments of prayer have been meaningful for you, consider subscribing so we can continue to begin each day together, grounded in His presence.